Hey, Dustin. AOP is in the house. It's alright, I guess. I still gotta make coffee, guys, so I guess hold that thought. I'm down like maybe that much coffee left in my cup. Left in my cup. Welcome in, Ernie. Welcome in, Kiwi. DW. So I'm gonna go grab coffee, let everybody jump in. I'll be right back. I do have a Hypsee event running tonight, so if you want to take care of the 15% discount, now is the time to do it. If you want to go over and order a recorded reading, whatever, there's a bunch there. Go to the live stream event over at Hypsee and order a discounted reading, 15% off. I have 20 spots available, so if you feel like doing that, feel free to do that. I'm going to activate it by 9:30, so go ahead and get that discount while you can, alright? And I will be right back, because I want to go grab coffee, and yeah. So I'll be back in a minute, okay? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you all had a good day today for Friday. Hopefully it turned out better than expected. You know, collective, here I'm wondering why certain services don't want to help find justice. And I come to find out that, I don't know if you've heard, but over 30 police officers were just charged and arrested for giving private information out. I can't say that I'm impressed with our servicemen right now. I'm not painting them all with the same brush. I know there's some good ones out there. Thank the goodness that there are good ones out there. But honestly, that's despicable. And here I'm wondering why I'm not getting any justice, why I'm not getting any help. They should be ashamed of themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Extremely ashamed of themselves. That's all I gotta say on that. Welcome in, Royal. Welcome in, Julie. The whole thing is these officers called an oath. They spoke on an oath. And to some degree, that's a spiritual oath to uphold justice. So it's not just a physical retribution that they're going to have, repercussions, retribution, whatever. On a physical level, this is going to be a divine, spiritual level as well. And this is a cigarette, just in case anybody knows or wants to know. I'm down to 3 cigarettes a day, guys. That officially makes it 1 pack a week. 3 cigarettes a day, and I split the cigarettes up in 2. So it's technically 3 cigarettes, but it's 6 small ones. Yeah, that's gonna take me forever. That's why I got the torch. So, the energy's been pretty wild. The anxiety is thick in the ethers. There's a lot of people projecting a lot of shit. You need to continue to cleanse yourself. You need to continue to smudge. You need to continue rebuking it. Because a lot of this anxiety that's coming over you, collective, isn't even yours. Okay? You have to take that in consideration. I quit for 30 days, Kiwi, and it was literal hell. Literal hell on earth. The nightmares came back and they were just rough. I bashed my face off the night table and took out a couple teeth. And I ended up with a toonie size, about that big around, probably almost the whole roof of my mouth. I ended up having an abscess in the roof of my mouth from it all. The night terrors are rough with me. Welcome in, JT. No, this was like, what was it? I think it was like May of 20, I want to say 2015. May of 2015, 2016, something like that. It was just before I got my car. So if you guys want to get a 15% discount on a reading, my phone just did a screenshot. Just from me rubbing the table. Anyway. I've had some pretty weird dreams since I've been cutting back, but it hasn't been too bad. It's been okay so far. And that's why I'm pacing myself and cutting back a little bit at a time. Soon it's going to be from 6 cigarettes, it's going down to 2 cigarettes. So, well, 2, 4, from 6 to 4, and then to 2. But at that point, I think it'll be almost a pack every 2 weeks at that point. So, we'll see. Welcome in, Taurus. Yeah. If it wasn't for my live stream, I wouldn't like people either. Welcome in, Kitty. So we're going to get started with a small collective, just to see what the overall energy is. And then we're going to jump in. So it's going to go members, Members first and then super chats and super stickers. And then tonight we're gonna maybe do guess the number for a couple people there that want to guess the number. I got my die here, so I'll roll the die and see about giving a free reading. But I'd like to get a goal up to like $50, if not more, for the rolling of the die for a free reading. And it's going to be for a free full reading. So your donations tonight will very well help someone else tonight, paying it forward. If I feel up to it, I may do 2 free readings. But you gotta win them. You got to win them. The energy is definitely good because I've been basically living in a cloud of smoke all afternoon. Somebody's reminiscing about the past, about how good you were to them. It's one bit of energy that I'm picking up on. Taurus girl, welcome in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Way to start it off. Way to start off the evening. I wish I had a gong like Linda. I'd give you a gong. If you haven't checked out Linda Likes Tarot yet, you might want to go check her out. She's pretty in alignment with a lot of what I talk about too. We jump in on a lot of the same energies, I find. She's been my saving grace as far as readers are concerned. Welcome in, Sophia. Can I move this a little bit more? I can. Maybe that's going to keep it from jumping around. It's still jumpy, but it's better than nothing. All right. Let's look into the overall energies. I'll do the prayer first. We'll get that done deal. Great Spirit, guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light, and universal source. Divine breath of creation, you who exist in the realm of pure vibration and subtle energy, may your sacred frequency be awakened within us, and may we embody the divine essence, allowing the kingdom to arise within our hearts and souls. Let the divine will of the physical and spiritual merge realms in the cosmic divine pattern, microcosm to macrocosm, nourishing us with cosmic divine vitality and divine wisdom and life force. Divine energy of cosmic consciousness, please restore us of any misalignment and confusion that has been created against us. As we release what no longer serves us, let It released the blocks that hinder our forward movement. What we release then releases us. Please invoke our discernment and awareness to not be deceived and awaken our divine blueprint of destiny, giving us the synchronicities and signs to banish doubt, fog, and confusion. Please protect our divine pathway and rescue us from illusion of separation from our divine purpose and soul family. And in the name of the divine order and inner sacred kingdom, let it match our outer experience, and may the creative spark always be lit within us to protect us on our journey and guide us through divine intervention. As above within our mind, as below within our heart, as within our inner kingdom and in our outer world. Now and forever, and so it is. So it shall be. It is done, it is done, it is done. Full out goosebumps. All right, let's look into it. There very well could be a judgment call that you need to make soon. Spirit, what's the overall energy for tonight's collective message? Page of Wands. The King of Wands. Okay. It's about taking a leadership position, taking the lead, being inspired, cutting out the toxicity. The Empress in reverse. So there very well could be a dark Empress trying to sabotage things, or very well could be something about somebody trying to sabotage you because you're cutting out this toxic energy. The Magician, the Four of Wands, and the Fool. So there's definitely something about a manifestation coming in, taking a leap of faith in a new direction, making a new commitment, creating a new foundation for yourself. Knight of Wands, you could very well be uninspired to take action. There could be a little bit of reluctance, or somebody could be coming in to try to manipulate that. But you need to take a leap of faith anyway. Don't be misjudging some new opportunities that could be coming in for you. Yeah. Somebody wants you out here sabotaging this new beginning. There's something coming in here. There's a manifestation coming because you've been inspired to keep moving forward. Yeah, this Empress, it's not going to work. It's going to blow up in their face. This Dark Empress, whoever she is, thinking that she's going to keep you, yeah, they're going to be trapped up in their head. They could either be going to spiritual jail. There's a Queen of Pentacles out here. There's a, I don't know, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn out here that's trying to keep you from taking a leap of faith. And I think because you're taking a leap of faith, somebody thinks you're selfish. But whatever is happening here with this Empress in reverse and the Devil in reverse, there's the Ace of Wands in reverse as well that's clarifying that. We also have a Judgment in the reverse, so there's definitely some misjudgment of your capability of taking a leadership position. I'm also hearing this could be a mother figure with this Queen of Pentacles. This person is extremely unstable at this time. The Hierophant. someone was not connected to the divine. Two of Pentacles, juggling way too much. They were not committed to anything good. Something about bitterness. Somebody's trying to manipulate your emotions. It's not working. Five of Pentacles. This person could be out in the cold. This person could be out in the cold, or they could want you out in the cold. Six of, yeah, they want you out here weathering the storm. Six of Swords in reverse. The Temperance. So things that they want are not in divine timing. Everything that they're investing into to try to bring you down is not working. It's not bearing fruit. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, because you're walking away from this. You're walking away from this situation, whatever this is. You may have walked away already. Knight of Swords. There's some sort of communication coming in. This is about independence. I'm really kind of picking up on a job with this Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups here as well. There's definitely something here about wish fulfillment coming in because you're walking away from, or you walked away from a particular dynamic. Knight of Swords and the Two of Swords is clarified by it. So there's definitely some sort of decisions that you need to make. There's communication coming in regarding these decisions that you need to make. Okay, but I do see things working out in your favor. Whoever this is resonating with. You definitely have some major manifestations that are bringing you a new beginning. You need to trust in your intuition. Okay, somebody might be trying to get you all jumbled up in your head so that way you can't make a decision, but I feel you're going to make the right one. You need to stay inspired and know that you have all the tools that you need to make these decisions. Okay? King of Swords in reverse. There's definitely some sort of deception at play here, collective. And illusions and manipulation of emotions, trying to disempower you with the Strength card in reverse. I don't think it's working. You're keeping yourself guarded. Yeah, the Star, you're healing. You're still shining. There could be a King of Swords out here, maybe a Gemini that knows that there's not going to be ever a second chance with this person. They see that you're building a legacy for yourself, that you're building a new foundation for yourself. They could be lying as to how you're getting your money, but you're very abundant at this time. Four of Swords, they're very much in anxiety right now. Because you're taking a leap of faith and you're at the crossroads of a new session or a new timeline. There's some sort of a new partnership coming in. You're keeping your cards close to your chest. You are going to get the upper hand in this. Somebody's trying to make you look unstable. They want you begging. But they're ultimately going to get trapped up. Because they're trying to get you to act out of character. They want you looking like a tyrant. But you're standing on business. They want you all stressed out. They don't want you moving forward. They don't want you closing out any cycles. They don't want you being seen. But there's definitely something coming in quick for you. Yep, somebody wants to try to sabotage this new beginning for you, and they definitely want you in some sort of sadness. I don't think it's going to work out, because you know the truth. You know there's this definite selfish energy out here that's trying to manipulate you, but you are alchemizing this betrayal, right? You're continuing to move forward very methodically, very steady. You're still inspired, despite the unhappiness. They're trying to disconnect you from your higher power, and they feel that by coming in and reconciling with you that they can do that. But you're standing on business because you know that it's not divinely orchestrated, and you're cutting out these third parties that are causing conflict and causing you imbalance, okay? They're thinking about the past, and this is why they want you in the cold. They want you overwhelmed, but you just continue nurturing. You're very, very tapped in, okay? And this is why they want you to miss out. But you're covered by angels, okay? Whatever this is that they're trying to come in with, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in reverse, they're coming in with a false offer. They're coming in with a bunch of lies and deception. It's going to be revealed to you that everything that they invested in bringing you down and bringing you out of this energy is not working, because they were just nurturing a bunch of lies about you walking away or them walking away, but they were ultimately there to sabotage you and leave you defenseless. And they were doing this unapologetically because you were gaining an independence. They didn't want you having any type of independence, and they were trying to bring that to an end. Okay? They wanted to bring your wish fulfillment to an end, but you're gaining success anyway, despite it all. This brought you into some sort of a solitude. They wanted you isolated. They didn't want you moving forward. And you're calling your power back. You're speaking up on this injustice, and this is why you're getting back everything that they took from you. They've been sitting here watching. They know exactly who you are. They know exactly how good you are. And they see that you're loving yourself and cutting out this toxic energy and coming out of this tower energy. Okay? All the while they're trying to manipulate you, but you're bringing this to an end. Everything is blowing up in their face because they thought that they could come in acting like a soulmate, but you already know they're a karmic. They thought that they could come in and you could just misjudge this, but you're putting an end to this once and for all. Okay? People can't try you anymore. People can't pull the wool over your eyes anymore. You're too tapped in. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much, very much, very much. So there is a 15% discount over at Hypsee. You got 2 more minutes to go over and order a reading, otherwise I'm shutting it down. Okay, let's check out the Black Rose Oracle. What's going on? So somebody wants you to be numb. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to be free from this attachment. And they don't want you to be available to date. But you're not looking for a relationship anyway at this time. They want you looking like you're dependent and you're trapped. That's how they want it. But you're not running away. You're not feeling empty. You're not feeling invisible. You're not feeling cut off. Yeah, you've come out of this dark night of the soul. You've danced with your shadow. You're facing your inner truth, seeing the true colors. They didn't want you to do this. They didn't want you seeing all this. They ultimately wanted you trapped and it's not working. It's all blowing up in their face. Yeah, difference is divorce, breakup, not looking back. This is the finality of it all. They're not getting back in. They thought that they were. You're definitely moving. Environment change, empty shell, boxed up, moving. Yeah, the witchcraft ain't working. They wanted to come in and they were trying to do love magic on you. In reconciliation, coming back, making it work, second chance. All of that magic is now making them absolutely obsessed. This is why I don't do love magic. Because it ultimately backfires. Everything that you wish upon other people comes back to them. They're not protected like you are. Okay? The divine is not going to intervene with this. Your guardian angels are not accepting this witchcraft bullshit. They're not allowed to come in and play with your heartstrings anymore. Okay, they're trying to entrap you, making it inevitable that you have to ask them for help when you don't want nothing to do with them. And I'm picking up this is a past energy that you've already cut off. Yeah, you're done with the drama. You're absolutely done with the drama. No more creating games. No more problems. No more thirsty for attention, overreacting, drama queen. You're not in this energy. I don't think you ever were, collective. Yeah, forbidden fruit, non-committal, sexual energy, tragedy. So there's definitely something here about somebody wanting to get back in your energy, but the divine ain't letting it happen. There's no history there. There's not going to be any deja vu. There's not going to be another, there's history happened in the past, repeated patterns. This is the end of that pattern. I think you're nipping it in the butt, and I think you're changing the way you look at life. You're changing the way you look at the situation. Okay? Yeah, stuck, locked down, mental prison, captive. That's how they want you. And I feel this is all being thrown back in their face. Now they're trapped. Now they want to come in and ask you for help, but they're not willing to show the proof. No validation, no confirmation. They don't want to tell you the truth. That they're now trapped in a situation that they had for you. Yeah, because you're not on this roller coaster anymore. You're done with that roller coaster. And they weren't listening to the signs, the warnings, the synchronicities. They could also be trying to thwart it so you can't see the signs or synchronicities. So that way you get caught up and somebody's jealous. These rumors, this pettiness, being envious, talking behind your back, it's not even working anymore. It's not affecting you at all. They don't want you having any type of security, feeling safe. Right? They're causing you all this injustice. Being very immature. When you're very grown, you're very emotionally mature. You've cleared out these childhood wounds. You're focusing on you, and you're done. You're done with the trauma bond. You're done with the inner child wounds. You're not attracting toxic anymore. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you back in this low vibe, which isn't working. It's not working. They keep trying to throw you anxiety and have you all up in your head and try to drop your frequency, and it's not working. It's not working. Yeah, there's no love here. They shattered you, and you had to heal these triggers. And this is the whole thing, collective. They were focused on everybody but you before. And now that you're focused on yourself, and now that you're not playing stupid games, you're not wanting to win those stupid prizes, you had to clear all of this sadness out. You had to heal your broken heart. You had to heal these panic attacks and feeling crushed. Right? You're very compassionate. You were giving them unconditional love. You were very genuine with this union. And they fumbled you like a motherfucker. They didn't give a shit about you. And now all of a sudden you're rising above this all this bullshit and you're unbothered. You have you got nothing left for them. You got no compassion for them. They wanted you rotten out in a ditch. So guess what's happening? They're in the process of being left out in the cold and having to rot out in a ditch while you level up. And they don't like that. They don't like to see you progressing. But that's not our problem, is it? Not our problem. All right. Everybody that's donated tonight, I hope you're still here because I got you on a list. And you'll be getting a message. Unless you state in the chat that it was just a donation. But I'll be throwing you some cards in a minute. I'm just doing an overall energy check-in for those that aren't really going to be getting a reading tonight. So you're definitely protected, okay? You're definitely working with your shadow and your light. You're definitely inspired. You're in the attitude of gratitude, okay? Somebody wants you burnt out from having to fight for your life, okay? But they're now seeing your unseen potential, and they're hesitating. They're kind of intimidated about coming back in because they don't know how to show up, right? You're discovering the truth that's coming in from the cosmos, right? And they don't want you expressing yourself. They don't want you finding strength within yourself. So they've been constantly sending you this energy of discombobulation. I don't know if it's the word. Dysregulation, anxiety, panic, all of this stuff. But you've been rebuking it. You know that it's not yours because you're in a state of peace. You're in a state of zen. You're in a state where, you know, you're just focusing on the moment. You're not focusing on the past. You're not focusing on the future. The future hasn't hit yet, right? You know, you're trusting in the unknown. You're trusting that the divine is going to carry you through this. And that's what you need to do. You just need to focus on that. The divine ain't going to... If you've survived to this point, the divine ain't going to let you fall. The divine ain't going to let shit happen to you. You know, it may be a little uncertain, but you'll be okay. You'll be okay, collective. Despite it all, you'll be okay. Let's get a message from the dragons. That's too many. Dragons, what are you doing? You're flipping over the whole pack? Come on now. Let's try this again. No, that's better. That's better. Okay. So, time is of the essence. Your independence is here. You're carrying your own path. You're carving your own path. Okay? And you're definitely cherishing the day. You're cherishing the moment, contemplating the future. You definitely could be having some sort of visions come through. The divine could be sharing some sort of visions with you. Okay? Just be in the moment, cherishing the moment, cherish the day. Okay? These are very, very beautiful moments that you're about to have happen for you. Okay? Contemplating the future. Okay? Independence, carrying your own path. There's definitely something coming in for you. And time. Just give it time. Give it time to mature. Give it time to blossom. Okay? Welcome in, Arad. Welcome in, Farrell. Just want to make sure all the dragon cards are upright. It looks to be. I thought I seen a couple flip over, but no. Okay. I like to keep my dragon cards organized, if you know what I mean. All right. Grand rising. Grand afternoon and grand evening, guys and gals. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for the prosperity so far. It's greatly appreciated. All right, collective. Let's see here. All right, Taurus girl, if you're still here, Jim, Kitty Cat, if you guys are still here, you guys are on the list for a message. So please come forward if you have any questions to start off with, or if you were just wanting to donate to the channel, just specify that it was a donation, okay? If you have a question, you can throw it in the chat now. And again, if there are any of you that want to go get a message through Hypsee, the Hypsee is still open. Just wanting to know what you need to know moving forward. Okay. All right. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. Great Spirit, guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light, please be here to provide protection as well as clarity in tonight's messages. Taurus girl has a message here that she wants to know what's coming in for her. What does she need to know right now? What's the best blessed message? I have a good feeling about it, Jim. I don't think you would have applied at it had it not been a good job to go to. Just be your best self. Walk into that like it was your job, like it was meant for you, right? And if it wasn't, if you're just grasping at straws, maybe you gotta really hone in on this whole idea of what you're applying to. Don't be just applying anywhere. Apply to jobs where you feel that you're gonna be most adequate with your knowledge and with your wisdom, something that you can really sink your teeth into, right? Taurus girl, we got the Nine of Swords, we've got the Three of Swords, and we've got the Hermit. So the Nine of Swords is in the upright, the Three of Swords is in the reverse, the Hermit is in the upright. I'm going to do clarification on this for you. What's the scoop with the Nine of Swords? I'll hook you up with a little bit more there, Jim. Just give me a minute. So you're kind of all up in your head about the reciprocity. But I really feel that by you being up in your, I think this is you kind of in a maybe a self-sabotage energy. You're not so nurturing. And you really got to take a more a grounded, intuitive stance regarding this. This could require you to step into your masculine. Okay? The Eight of Cups in reverse. There's something here that you don't necessarily want to walk away from because you feel like you're losing out. But ultimately, it's something with the Three of Swords. It's like you need to cut your losses. What's the Three of Swords? The Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So you're really not getting any good feedback as far as this dynamic that's got you all up in your head? Tell me more about the Three of Swords. Justice, okay. I do feel that the failure to find stability with the situation, I feel that there's something here where, thank you, Larson. I do see that you're going to balance things out, Taurus. Okay? I do see you balancing things out. I do see justice coming in for you, but you need to get in touch with your higher power because that's really going to help you guide you through it. With the Hermit here, you're definitely needing to go within yourself. There very well could be something here about a self-sabotaging energy. You're not feeling rather abundant, and it's mainly because of the non-reciprocity. And this is what's got you all up in your head. Somebody doesn't want you having any good news. Somebody doesn't want you being grounded. Somebody doesn't want you moving forward. Okay, somebody does not want to give back to the situation because there was no reciprocity. Okay? And the thing is that you really need to take a stance in this and lead. Take a lead of this and cut out this betrayal. Okay? Become free from this bullshit. Cut your losses. And ultimately, this is going to be your justice. This is where things are going to balance out once you take the lead regarding the situation. Can I get more on the Hermit? Yeah, the Chariot. You need to go on a journey. You need to get the hell out of Dodge. Get out of wherever you are. If you're in isolation, if you are dealing with deception, you need to move forward with purpose. Have intention behind your direction. If you don't have any intention behind your direction, stay put, wherever you are. You're definitely needing to emotionally walk away from this, because I feel that you're having this, with this Empress reverse, you're having a hard time finding your self-worth. Okay, and I think that's your hardest part, because they really threw you for a loop, whoever this was. Okay? Whoever this was. And you really need to walk away from this, because you know you're not satisfied. You need to tap into this attitude of gratitude, but you're not satisfied, so how can you really alchemize this? Yeah, it's time to take out the trash and come out of that tower energy. Okay, this is where you're going to find your success. Okay, you may need to speak up about something and take a leap of faith in a new direction. Okay, you may not feel that you are in this energy of independence, but it's because you need to take action on this. But I feel that in order to take action on this, in order to find clarity, in order to get justice, there's definitely an inside job that needs to happen. Okay? You need to go within yourself to find your self-worth, find that inner light, because that inner light is what's going to guide you forward. Okay? It's going to empower you to cut out this bullshit, third-party bullshit. Okay? And the betrayal and the hurt and the heartbreak. You need to empower yourself. You need to rise above that shit first, because you're in this Empress reverse energy, and it's not healthy to be in. It's keeping you in that low frequency, which it's holding back your manifestations. Okay? And you deserve everything. You work hard. You work hard. You put a lot into a lot of things, and you work too hard to be just wasted to the side. Like, you're not trash, and you need to stop thinking of yourself that way. Okay? Call your fucking power back, the High Priestess. Okay? Take some time out to rest. You deserve the rest. Take some time out for solitude. Take some time out to empower yourself. I feel get back out in nature. Okay? Get back out in nature. Go for a walk. Go down by the water. Cry it out, release the tears, release the pressure, release the pain, you know, because like somebody's trying to make you out to be something toxic when you're not. Somebody's trying to make you unbalanced, not being able to nurture your finances, They want you looking crazy. They want you looking destitute, right? When you're very nurturing, you're very grounded as an individual. Yeah. Page of Swords and the Fool. They're wanting you to face plant, and they're watching you and wanting you to face plant. It's almost as if they're doing this out of entertainment purposes, right? They want you weathering the storm, but you have a new beginning coming in. But you need to inspire yourself into this new beginning. You need to keep those fires lit within you. The fires of transformation and inspiration. You need to, if they're just at a flicker right now, you need to stoke those fires, honey. Get inspired, because you have a lot to offer the world. Don't bother waiting around for them to tell the truth. Because if they haven't told you the truth up until this point, that's your closure. They've been lying to you the whole time. And if you think that they're going to tell you the truth after being deceptive, never going to happen, honey. Cut your losses. The way they're treating you, the way they're leaving you like this, that's your closure. You don't need any more truth than that. You really don't. Okay? They don't have to tell the truth. Because the way they're treating you, the way that they're showing up like that, but that's the whole thing. You may have already left, but it's still emotionally jarring to you. It's still emotionally affecting you. And this is where you need to rise above it. You need to recognize your self-worth. You need to call your power back. You need to cut these energetic ties that are still holding on to you. And that's going to take time to do. Okay? But I have every bit of faith within myself to know that you're going to get through this and you're going to rise above it. I see you with a smile on your face. Okay? So you really need to have faith in yourself that you can overcome this, because it's going to happen. But you need to dismiss this whole idea that you want them to tell you the truth, because they haven't told you the truth up to this point. So what makes you think they're going to tell you the truth at all? Do you have anything that they may have gifted you that you still have? Because they could have very well gifted you something or gave you something that you might still have, that you might be holding on to remember them by. And whatever that is, you need to get rid of it. You threw everything away? Okay. You know what? Usually I'll grow my fingernails. I'll usually grow my fingernails out. And after I've grown them out, I'll clean them. And as I clean them, like underneath, I might get one of those buffer pads and buff them up all shiny. You know, you can go and get one. And as you clean up your nails, think about different people, particularly on each nail. Okay? And each fingernail has a particular situation that you want to let go of, that you want to release. Okay? Think of, for your dominant hand, the one that you tend to write with, okay? That's the one that projects outward, okay? And the opposite is the one that receives, right? So you have a receiving hand and a projective hand, okay? So when you want to receive something, say it be abundance, maybe a new place to live that's calm, cool, collected, maybe it's a job, maybe it's new friends, maybe it's a new relationship or whatever else, okay? As you clean your nails, on that hand, on your receiving hand, right? Think of the good things that you want to bring into your life, okay? On your projective hand, think of the different things you want to let go of. Think of the things that you want to release, okay? And as you're sanding your nails down, taking the cricks and crevices and cracks and bumps and all that off of them to buff them up, visualize that all of that shit's falling away. Visualize you sanding all of the crud off of your nails, which that's exactly what you're doing, right? And then it gets to the point where you have to trim your nails. So remember about what you're wanting to cut away, right? And as you're cutting your nails, put it into perspective that, you know, these people or this person or this situation, I'm now cutting it away. I'm releasing it from me. I'm taking it off of me. I'm cutting it away. I'm severing ties. I'm severing the energetic connection. Right? So as you do that, it's going to help you sever that connection, right? And bury your bury your clippings into the dirt. Okay? And when you do this hand, like you do the projective hand first, and when you cut your receiving hand, you're not cutting them to cut it away from you. You're cutting it to release it and bringing it back to the earth in order for the earth to provide you. In order for the earth, it's giving of an offering of yourself to the earth to help you manifest what you're trying to bring in. Okay? So do that like once a month, and you take your time and you do make sure that you're cleaning, you know, make sure you're keeping up on your nails, make them look nice. And then when it comes time, Spirit will let you know it's time to cut them out. So just cut them off. Cut all the nails off and release it, and don't be burying the same nails. Keep them separated, okay, from your projective hand. You know, put them in a different spot, or get two little baggies that you're going to put them in, and then dump them out of the baggie and dump them into the hole in the earth. But go and bury them in, like, down by the river or something. Okay? And bring them back to the earth, and watch how your life changes. Okay? For the ones that you're of your projective hand, if you're a smoker, you can even drop them in your ashtray, because the ashes, from ashes to ashes, dust to dust, right? So the ash actually neutralizes whatever was in the nail. So anything that you need to neutralize, you can mix it with the ash, right? So that's definitely something you can try. There's also a candle. You get 2 tea lights. If there's a specific person, you write their name on the bottom of one candle. You write your name on the bottom of the other. And you light them together. And you very well could tie them together with just a string, and then cut the string and say, this represents the severing of ties with this person, and gradually move the candles away from each other. Over the time that they're burning, don't let them go out. Don't blow them out, but separate them. Have one in one spot and have the other one right to the point where it's almost out the door, right? But make sure that both candles burn out. All right? That's another way of doing it. And then bury their candle off in the dirt somewhere. Okay? You could also find a little spot down by a cemetery and bury their portion of the candle in the dirt at the cemetery, symbolizing the death of that connection officially. Right? And it's not to say that you're putting them in the dirt or wanting them to pass away or anything, but it's basically severing that tie. Yep, tea lights. The little tiny round ones, the skinny ones, skinny round ones, they're the best ones to work with because you can just hold them in your hand. You can anoint yours with the protective oil. You can anoint theirs with the banishing oil. Check out your local store that you have around that sells crystals and incense and books and candles and all that stuff. Yep, that'll work. You just have to personalize for yourself and personalize for them. If it's just their name, that works too. But you can just speak it into existence. That's the easiest way. I started with the most complicated, and I'm working to the most easiest. But with the speaking of, you have to be in the right visual and the right frequency, and I feel that that's the hardest part, because you're in this longing frequency of getting some sort of closure, which I don't think you're gonna get. I didn't get closure for mine, right? And the thing is that with the way they treated you, that is your closure. And then I realized that. I realized that the way that they chose to treat you, that is your closure. You don't need to talk to them again. You don't need to try to explain anything to them. Right? So, I hope that brings you clarity, my dear. Let's look into what's coming in for you, because Spirit, if she heeds my advice, hold up, just give me a second here. So there was a reading that showed up in Hypsee. I don't know whose reading that is. Because they went in and they said NA. Again, thank you, Larson, for the prosperity there. I will hook you up. You are on the list. Jim, I haven't forgotten about you. Thank you for your patience. So I don't know who. Yeah, Larson, I got you. You're on the list, hon. I don't know who sent this NA level 2 reading. Can you let me know who it was? Welcome in, Emmy. Can you let me know who you are? The fact that you go in and you ask for a reading and you don't bother putting your name in, like, I really would like to know who it is. So if you're going to get a reading over at Hypsee, make sure you put your name in. Okay? It's encrypted over there. There's nothing gonna, they're not going to take any of it. You don't have to be so stealthy. Okay? Welcome in, Emmy. Welcome in, New Earth. Welcome in, Raymond. No, it's a full-out reading here. There's like a whole paragraph here. Something about going off radar. Two people started out friends and they ended up dating. So whoever you are, you need to be coming forward and at least letting me know who you are. I'm not going to read everything out here on the interwebs, but I will get to you. You just have to be patient. Okay? Welcome in, Maureen. Miss JB, welcome in. All right, Taurus girl, get me back on track. All right, if Taurus girl heeds my advice and takes on what I've said, and she empowers herself to move into a new direction and empowers herself to release this whole idea of closure, what's the situation? What's coming in for her? All right, so really you need to focus on yourself, Taurus girl, okay? Again, the Three of Swords is coming out, okay? You need to focus on yourself, cut out all the distractions, all the bullshit, focus on cutting out this betrayal, okay? They are going to snap the fuck out because of it. Don't get me wrong, they will do that because they don't want you to sever the ties, okay? Definitely trying to emotionally manipulate you, okay? The Four of Cups, you know damn well you deserve better than this bullshit. Okay, they are trying to keep you in this injustice energy. But, you know, ultimately you are going to rise above after the illusions, after you see it for what it is. It is going to put you in your emotions, and I think that's the process that you're going through right now. Okay, they're casting illusions. Okay, but you will be celebrating. Okay? You will be celebrating once you're meeting your soul tribe. You're going to rise above this. You're going to be seen for who you truly are. You're definitely a blessing to the world, Taurus, and you need to keep focusing on that. Okay? Don't allow them to be coming in and doing anything otherwise. Don't allow them to be coming in and gaslighting you. Don't allow them to be coming back in to try to tell you, oh, you're just sensitive. No. You know exactly what happened. And this is why you really don't need closure. Because it's looking like because you are trying to find your empowerment and you're trying to rise above this, it's almost as if they're coming in to gaslight you, to get you back into this energy of maybe snapping out. Okay? They don't want you to rise above this, but you will. It's going to be a fight for your life. Okay? But the more you alchemize this and the more you rebuke it and the more you banish it, the better it's going to be for you. Okay? So stand in your power with this. You have every right to stand in your power with this. All right? Well, the restraining order isn't going to do, it's not going to do nothing. Okay? Because they can just send in a third party. And the restraining order means absolutely nothing. Right? So that's where you got to stay. This is why I'm celibate. This is why I'm not looking for a relationship. Because I already know that they've tried to send other people in to try to get under my skin. Okay? And it's not working because I'm cutting everybody out. And they're doing absolutely anything and everything to try to get back in my energy somehow, some way. And they're using other people to do it. They're using other people to come in, act all nice and beautiful and supportive, and then they rip the rug out from underneath you and put you in some sort of a sadness, which then gets you in a position where you end up having to deal with the low frequency again. That's the whole point of them trying to put you in a low frequency, so that way they can tap into your energy and you're not susceptible to it. You're not focused enough to recognize it, and then they can feed off of your abundance and feed off your energy. This is why you need to be very vigilant as to who you allow in your energy, and you have to be very vigilant as to who you are associating with. So this is why the solitude is so important. Okay? Welcome in, Panji. Because they be trying it. And they're grasping at straws because you're empowering yourself. If I can overcome it, my dear, you can too. But the more you raise your frequency, the better it's going to be. Because if you keep this lower frequency and you try to ask people for help, you're going to attract the same toxic energy back in your experience. But as you rise above it and as you alchemize it, these toxic people won't be able to be in your energy anymore. You may have to move 5 and 6, 7 times as you're alchemizing it. Because you end up growing out of the lower frequency that you're in. So you end up growing out of the energy frequency that's in that area particularly. So if you're feeling like you need to move again, make the move. Find out where the divine is trying to put you and go. And trust. Okay? It may be a little bit rocky. It may be a little unstable. But it's just showing you your resilience. It's showing you what you're actually capable of overcoming. Right? So just give yourself the ability to rise above this. And I have a feeling that things are going to work out better. You're going to be celebrating because you are going to rise above this. You're closing out these cycles. Okay? But it's going to take a lot of rebuking, a lot of banishing, a lot of smudging. Okay? Oh yeah, it's already knocking at their door, Taurus. It's already knocking at their door. All right? I kid you not. So, whoever's thrown this level 2 reading in, if you're watching right now, can you address yourself? Can you let me know, yeah, it's me? Have they addressed themselves in the chat yet? Alright. So. Alright, Jim, you are next. Alright, Jim. This interview that you got coming in, I do feel that it's good. I do feel a good energy from it. But you need to show up. Don't just go there for the interview. You need to show up. If that means anything. You need to show up at the right frequency. You need to show up as if it's already yours. Like that you're ready to start. Oh, okay, Reaper. Thank you, Reaper. Are you the longtime best friend of over 7 years? Is that the one? Is that yours? Okay. Thank you for addressing that. When you're loading up a reading on Hypsee, you can put in your YouTube name. You don't have to put your real name, but you can put your YouTube name in it, so that way it coincides with YouTube, and then I know who it is and who it's for. Okay? And then I don't have to be out here asking, whose reading is this? Kind of thing. Alright? Alright. So, Jim, are you still here? You still kicking it with us? I'm really feeling like this was you grasping at straws, though. Why are you grasping at straws? You just want to take any old job? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? Does this make sense to you? Because I need some context. I need to know that I'm picking up on the right energy here. Spirit, what's going on with Jim? What do they need to know right now? We got the Knight of Swords, so you're lying to yourself. It's either you're lying to yourself or somebody's lying to you. You're just wanting to take action, and I think you just took a very abrupt action. But you're pissed off, and I think it was like a last-ditch effort. You kind of acted out of haste, you acted out of anger, but you're nurturing your truth. You're like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Right? And you're not really wanting to end out this cycle with the current job because you feel that there's some sort of a solution there, but you're kind of on the fence about closing that out. And you kind of acted out of anger and took some action because maybe something was said, some sort of lies or deception were said. 9 of Cups, there was no wish fulfillment there. You're not feeling complete by working there. I think this is why you made this decision. The Hangman, you need to see things from a broader perspective. You need to open up your mind to possibilities, more possibilities, because you're not happy. I don't think you're happy with the decisions that you were making. It's not fulfilling. Now, what about this job, Spirit, for Jim? Six of Pentacles, so there's no reciprocity there. You're not inspired, you're not challenged there. You don't get to be at your fullest potential. Yeah, you're having a hard time, and it's too much. It's too much responsibility for the amount you're getting paid. You're not getting the same out of it as you're putting into it. So I think this is why you made that hasty decision, and you're very unclear as to how or where you're moving forward. But you know you want to cut out this bullshit. Welcome in, Bradley. Yeah, Queen of Cups. This job is making you bitter. And it's to make you snap out. And if you have any type of relationship, it's almost ruining your relationship. Because it's like you're bringing the work home. Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. So I feel that I think your independence is very significant here. Very significant. Knight of Pentacles. You need to be moving forward with a more solid methodical way of moving. You need to have purpose. It needs to be grounded. It needs to be part of your manifestation. It needs to be part of who you are. It needs to be in sync and in equilibrium with what you're trying to focus on. Okay, so if this new job isn't in alignment with you, it's not going to happen. Right? But if this old job isn't in alignment with you, you're pretty well on your way out. You're just kind of sitting on the fence as to whether or not you want to end it or not. And I think this is why you're asking me about this interview, as to whether or not it's going to pan out. Is this something that you want? Because if it's not something that you want, then you're moving in a different direction. You're acting out of desperation. And I don't think this is a good avenue for you. If you feel that you can cook it for a little while and keep it on the stove and let it simmer, then fine. But if you don't feel that it's, don't be cooking a stew that you're not going to eat. You know what I mean? But I think there's something here about you finding your wish fulfillment and independence. There's something that you could be doing on your own, that you're not having to work for somebody else. And there's something here that's been on the back burner that you need to really tap into. Because there's definitely some sort of independence and there's definitely some sort of prosperity there. But I don't feel that you're giving yourself enough credit for it because of this other bullshit that you're dealing with right now. You're too distracted. All right? That's my answer. It's ultimately up to you with what you want and where you want to go. You are the captain to your own ship, my friend. Spirit saying go big or go home. You deserve something good in your life. All right? All right, Kitty. Are you here? You're very welcome, Jim. Thank you so much. Kitty, kitty. A $5 holla for Kitty. Jimmy Bean, thank you so much for the prosperity. Ultimately, you got to find out whether or not it's going to be a good fit or not. I can't tell you if you're, I can't tell you if you're size 9 foot will fit in a size 8 shoe. It's going to be a little cramped, isn't it? You got to figure that out for yourself. But it's your decision. But I don't feel that you should be settling on anything. Okay? That's my advice. Live up to your fullest potential. Get something that's going to challenge you. Get something that's going to be in alignment with you. That might take some inner work to get there. But I feel that you're going to get there. You're going to find clarity regardless. All right, so the list goes to Kitty, and then it's going to Larson. I'm going to write this down. Larson, are you still with us? Okay, so Taurus, Jim, Kitty, Larson, welcome in, Clown, Reaper, be right back after these messages. All right, Maureen, we'll miss you. Vishal, what am I doing? Check out the description box. That'll give you a clue. Chevy, welcome in. All right, so Taurus is good. Jim is good. We're working on Kitty's message with the $5 holla. I feel with you, Kitty, things have calmed down. Things are still a little erratic, Spirit's saying, but I feel that you're transmuting it quite well. You could need to remember to wipe the sleep out of your eyes. So you might be running your, you could be running your wick at both ends at this time, trying to stay focused. Just energetically speaking. I'm going to tap into the cards, but just what I'm picking up on energetically. You're running on the midnight oil. You're kind of feeling like you're burning yourself out, and you need to slow down just a little bit. Call your power back. Step into your own energy right now. Okay? Call your energy back. The fact that you're recognizing that you're wearing yourself a little bit thin, focus on gaining your energy and utilizing it at work and focusing on going in with a good energy at work. Okay? And then as you're going home, take some time out. Even if you pull over to the side of the road somewhere safe where you can just chill for 5 minutes and just give yourself some decompression time and just, okay, we're done. Or even before you pull out of the parking lot from work, just give yourself some time to decompress and just give yourself a moment of stillness before you get in the car and drive home and have to deal with them. It's very significant with that. Take each moment as it comes. And then when you get home, put up some boundaries, an energetic boundary. Put yourself in a bubble if you have to. And when there's any type of reaction or any type of interaction, don't experience that as a, don't experience, put it into perspective of like, don't be listening to reply, listen to understand. Okay, you need to orb up. You're not orbing enough. You need to orb up and put a protective layer on you or something. Put yourself in a bubble. Because I think that's where you're going wrong. It's not that you're doing anything wrong per se, but it's where you're lacking. You're lacking in your own personal protection. You're allowing other people's energy to affect you, and you're thinking that it's yours, and it's not. And that's where you're going to find your most empowerment. And this not only goes for Kitty, but this goes for anybody else out there that is having a lot of anxiety or panic come over them, or a lot of uncertainty come over them. Recognize it's not yours. Picture yourself, visualize yourself in a bubble. This is why it's so predominantly important to heal your inner child, because your inner child allows you to imagine, allows you to visualize, allows you to open your mind to new possibilities. This is why it's so predominantly important to gain a new interaction with your inner child, because that is where your imagination comes from. You notice how we have to grow up and we have to put away our toys, and we can't be we can't be living in the clouds. We have to come down to reality, and we have to deal with adult things. That's all part of the projection. It's all part of the deception. It's all part of the veil that gets thrown over our eyes because of it. And this is why you need to keep a good interaction with your inner child in order to allow them to help you heal, and also to empower yourself and to be inspired again. It's very evident. Okay? So let's look into the cards for you. Spirit, what's the best blessed message for Kitty at this time? What is the best blessed message for Kitty? I pretty well called it. You're still holding on to emotions, but you have 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You're made for success. You have what you need within you to rise above this, Kitty. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So yeah, you need to put your fucking guard up. Did I not say that? 7 of Wands. 8 of Cups. You need to walk away from the emotional bullshit and the emotional baggage that you're holding on to. Okay? You have every right to be selfish. Okay? You have every right to call your energy back. You have every right to put your boundaries up. You have every right to do that. Because ultimately they're trying to get you disconnected and discombobulated from your higher power, and they're trying to get you to betray yourself. So that way you look unstable. Okay? That in a nutshell. You got 5 cards out here. But you have the 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's on the top now. And you need to guard your heart. There could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming into, yeah, there's a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio that you need to end ties with. Oh, maybe, hold up. There's a new beginning coming in with the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio that's going to help you end the ties. They're wanting to pour into you. It's either that or you need to guard your heart and end this and move in a new direction. Get inspired. Make the move. Walk away. Emotionally, physically, sensually, whatever you need to do. You will be gaining success in this. You have every right to do that. Okay? What do you mean by your son? I don't think you need to walk away from your son unless he's still causing you problems. You're intuitively balanced here. There's definitely some sort of independence here. Somebody's trying to work against you. You're getting 5 more. You already got 5 more. You need to focus on your manifestations that they're trying to thwart and they're trying to sabotage your stability. You have manifestations coming in, okay? But whoever's not being in this reciprocity with you, you need to cut it out. Okay? You need to speak up and create boundaries, and there's independence here, and you need to take a stand. You need to nurture your intuition of what it's trying to tell you. Spirit's saying it's time. Cancer is the roommate? Yeah. Is there anything else for Kitty? Pay attention to your surroundings. Whatever you're pouring into where you're not getting anything out of, that's what you need to cut out. Yeah, because there quite possibly could be failure if you don't take balance. If you don't make it balanced, if you don't stop burning the midnight oil, you need to guard your heart, you need to take out the trash, you need to stand on business, take a lead, and pay attention to your surroundings. And that will help you clarify what you need to do. Because you could be in a fog right now, not really knowing what to do. Pay attention. Open your mind, open your heart, be in the stillness. Allow the divine to guide you through this. The divine will guide you through this. Ace of Swords. You're gonna find clarity. You need to keep your cards close to your chest. You need to start saving money. You will be moving forward with clarity. You just need to tap in. It's an inside job, my dear. Don't stop dealing with clarity with the inside job. There's definitely something here about reconciliation, reconciling with yourself, about not being enough or not showing up enough or not getting shit done enough. Right now is the time to be strategic. Okay? And heal. Don't take into consideration of anything that anybody's saying that's trying to get you all out of focus and out of balance. Don't take anything to heart. It's a grain of fucking salt. Yeah, take a look at it constructively, but don't overthink it. Don't try to make a mountain out of a molehill, because it's not going to help your situation. It's going to just leave you in the fog. This is where you need to find the empowerment. The synchronicities are there. You just need to believe in it. All right, Larson, you're next. Are you still kicking it with us? Do you have any particular question? Let me look into it and see if there was a question. Doesn't look like it. Larson, it's your turn. Okay. You want to know if there's something I need to know and about love. Spirit's asking you if you love yourself. And do you love yourself enough not to settle? Do you love yourself enough to show up for you? And to not abandon yourself like everybody else did? Okay. Without a shadow of a doubt, you can look in the mirror and say, you know what? I love me. And you're going to show up for yourself. You're going to, you're going to step into the timeline. Okay, good. I'm happy for that. All right, Spirit, where am I going with this? Okay. I guess I'm bringing out the archetypes for you. Let's see what the archetypes got to say. I'll still do some tarot for you, but I'm just being drawn to the archetypes. So we'll roll with it. We'll see how it goes. Spirit, what's the situation for Larson? What's the deal? What does Larson need to know right now? That one? Okay. What does Larson need to know right now? This one? Okay. This one? Okay. Yeah, so you're focused in on making your body as a temple. You're really working on your inner temple, and I'm really proud of you on that. I'm really, really proud of you on that. We got the temple out here. Okay. And reverence for life and sanctuary. So you are that sanctuary that you've been searching for. There's definitely something here about sensual expression, merging, inviting. So there very well could be a kiss coming in. Okay, there could be a new love coming in because you are alchemizing what's going on, which is very beautiful. You could be needing to focus on boundaries. You could be lacking boundaries. There could be something here about forcing a connection or somebody trying to force a connection and lacking boundaries with you. You may be putting your boundaries down because of this. You're really needing to take consideration and use your discernment as to who you are serving and who are you showing reverence and joy and honor to. Okay? Who are you bypassing your spiritual boundaries and feeling that it's a righteous thing to do? Who are you allowing into your life that you really shouldn't be allowing in? Okay, you have to really take consideration and use your discernment. You could be denying certain things. You could be denying red flags. You could be suppressing certain things that you need to speak up on. You could be looking the other way to certain evils. Okay, trying to act as if it's like you're unconscious to the situation. You're trying to not be judging. You're trying to accept everyone. There's something here about facing your fear and cutting out these connections because they're not serving you. It's really not. The thing is, I don't know if you're an older lady or you definitely have some sort of crone energy. This could be a past life energy that you're carrying with you. You're very intuitive, you're very wise, you're very psychic. You're very magical and clairvoyant. You definitely have something about you that's ancient. You could have an old soul. Like an old crone kind of energy about you. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're old and dusty. It's not what I'm getting at. But you definitely have an old soul kind of energetic frequency that you carry with you. Okay? There's definitely something here that you're really, by you facing the darkness, okay, and allowing these visions, you are a visionary, okay? You're facing the darkness. You are a remover of the darkness. You're almost an alchemist or a exorcist. Darkness doesn't survive around you, okay? Spirit's saying something about you being a woman for quite a few years, so you've definitely tapped into your feminine energy. Okay? And I feel that there's a crone energy. There could be a grandmother around you that's guiding you through a lot of this transition and tribulations that you may be going through. But there's definitely something ageless about you. We've got the Mystic card out here too as well for you. But you really need to stand your boundaries. Okay? Stand with your magic. Stand with the protection that you hold. Stand with your clairvoyance. Trust that intuitive nudge. Trust that wise energy about you. And stop bypassing for people. It's not about you judging people. It's about you putting boundaries up for particular individuals that are trying to get into your energy because you hold a very sacred energy with you. I do sense a very divine feminine kind of energy with you. You really need to hone in on that. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to put you in alignment. It is trying to help you build that inner temple. Okay? Okay, that's cool. But there's definitely something here about you really tapping into your masculine and feminine and bringing them into equilibrium. Don't allow them to have a war within your head. Okay? Embrace them both. Spirit, what's the best blessed message for Larson? There's definitely some sort of reciprocity. You're on the fence about sharing reciprocity with a particular individual. You very much have a heart of gold. You definitely like to nurture people. But Spirit's saying that you could very well be nurturing the wrong people. They could be taking advantage of you, and they're keeping you from your wish fulfillment. So be very discerning as to who you're pouring your compassion into, okay? Your masculine energy may be trying to protect you, where your feminine energy is trying to, and my nose is itchy, so there's definitely something here of a confirmation regarding that. There's somebody trying to bring you a tower, and you need to alchemize this tower. You cannot be taking this tower energy in, okay? There's certain people that quite possibly could be asking for your help that you cannot help. They need to help themselves, okay? They will more or less deplete you than anything else. Welcome in, Renee. Yeah, they don't want you having this new beginning, and this is why you need to guard your heart. They see you moving forward. They see you alchemizing. Yeah, they're trying to deplete you. You're invested in your temple. You're invested in your spiritual service. And you really need to be careful as to what you're investing into to make sure you're going to get something out of it. Okay? Yep, you need to learn how to say no. Yep. There's certain people out here asking you for help, but they don't want your help. They're trying to keep you from success. And I feel that you already know who this is. They've already tried to have you all up in your head and all stressed out. Okay? You already know who this is. They're trying to get you to sabotage, and they're trying to get you to look helpless. So that way they can just siphon off of you. Siphon your abundance. They're trying to make you look like the crazy one. Okay? And you're not crazy. So as far as love is concerned, you need to continue alchemizing this. I do see a new love coming in. Spirit saying something between summer and fall. There's definitely someone coming in, but you need this time to heal. You need this time to alchemize. Okay? Because you're almost there. You're not quite there, but you're almost there. You need to cut out these toxic... You need to take out the trash. Okay? And then alchemize that and stand in your power, call your power back. Again, cut the cords. Right? So if you've been sitting here listening when I was talking to Taurus about the situation, there's definitely something here about you cutting cords. There's definitely a manipulative energy out here trying to swindle you, trying to siphon off of your good nature and your compassion and all this, and you really need to nip it in the butt. Okay? And once you overcome that, it's going to take some time, but I do feel that you're going to start to see a change around the middle of springtime, and you're almost 3/4 of the way. Spirit's saying you're halfway there right now, but you're going to be 3/4 of the way through that whole transition. Okay, and by maybe summer, fall is where you're going to meet this person. You haven't met them yet. All right. Welcome back, Maureen. All right, Reaper. Are you still here? Yeah, once that's taken out and taken out of the equation, and I feel things are going to change for you. All right? Right back at you, clown. Reaper. Reaper, are you still here? I think Reaper tapped out for a minute. Reaper. Right back at you, Larson. Thank you so much for your prosperity that you've bestowed and blessed me with. I wish all of you that have blessed me this evening to get hundredfold blessings right back at you. Thank you so much. Reaper. Am I at a new place? No, I'm still at the old place. Well, I am at a new place as of May, like last year. But I'm still at the place where I'm moving out of yet again. Reaper, are you here? You were here a couple minutes ago. Welcome in, Sound. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Welcome in, Royal Karma. Last call for Reaper. Did Reaper fall asleep? Reaper, wake up. You're gonna be late for school. There you are. Did you fall asleep? So, Reaper, this situation you're going on right now, it kind of reminds me of a situation that I'm dealing with, to be honest. And it's not easy going through what you're going through. To love somebody and to have to give them space in order to figure their own shit out. Honestly, I feel this person has a hard time communicating. They don't like showing their feelings. And I really feel that that's been hindering the whole connection. The fact that they don't feel that they're good enough to even communicate, they pretty well ghosted you, is not fair. The fact that you had to go to the lengths that you went to gain some sort of clarity, that was uncalled for. I don't care whether or not they were in a good mood or bad mood. Okay? I would ultimately take it day by day. I'm still going to go into the cards. I'm just tapping in energetically right now. Okay? Welcome in, James. Ultimately, he had no right leaving you hanging the way that he did. Because you loved him, you would have been there. You would have helped him to support his endeavors. You would have been there unconditionally. And I get it. He didn't want to burden you. He didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to project this onto you. He was trying to help by keeping you out of the fray of the bullshit. I get that. But you know what? Sometimes life isn't all hunky-dory and rainbows and, sugar pops. Sometimes there's baggage. Sometimes there's issues. Sometimes there's challenges. And the thing is you really recognize who is truly there for you when shit gets hard, when shit gets rough. You're ultimately gonna find out who is actually there for you and who isn't. The people that are there for you are gonna show up for you no matter what. No matter what you're going through. Doesn't matter how heavy it is, they're gonna be there for you, they're gonna show up. Okay? And the people that are only there to use you, it will be ultimately become evident. And I'm really kind of picking up at the fact that there's something here about having his cake and eating it too. He was too distracted. I don't even think that he was even in a position where I don't even feel like he was in the position of even wanting to commit. And with you being so loyal to the situation, ultimately, I don't feel that's fair to you. I'll tell you right now, it kind of feels like you're dating my ex. It's almost as if they're doing the same thing to you as they did to me. Like it's all too familiar. And my ex was the one that pretty well made me celibate. Because if somebody can string you along that long and then just say, yeah, I want to celebrate, I want to separate. I don't know. Spirit's saying something about the fact that he knows what he's doing. If he's going to do it, if he's going to do this to you, he knows what he's doing. Spirit, what's going on with this? It's not your reading, Stacy. If you want a reading, throw me a super chat and I'll put you on the list. Yeah, he's not reflecting, and there's definitely a dark night of the soul here. Facing the inner truth, you're seeing their true colors, that they're not willing to commit. They don't want you to be aware of who they really are. They're facing a lot of darkness. They don't want you to move on. You're out here thinking that you guys are soulmates. You're out here thinking that, there's a spiritual connection, that they're your life partner. Meanwhile, they don't want to even pursue you. They're not chasing you. They're not persistent. You're done with this whole heartstrings playing around, stringing you along. They basically want you sitting there waiting for you. They want you waiting for them. Yeah, they don't want you moving forward. They don't want you taking forward movement. If they were into any type of magic, it's failing. It's blowing up. Taking a risk, poker face, not showing feelings, rolling the dice. Yeah, they don't want to hold on. They don't want to cling. They want, you know, they ultimately want to let go of you because they don't feel they can show up for you. And you were very compassionate to this person, and it would make them feel guilty to keep leading you on. They're feeling shame. They're trying to get rid of the shame and humiliation that they feel for stringing you along. They want to be independent. They want to be free from attachment, and they want to be able to date other people. They don't want to be tied down. But they don't want to cut you off either. Very wishy-washy energy. Your intuition has told you already to cut your losses. If they were any of a decent friend to you, they wouldn't have treated you like this. I'm going to let you know that now. They don't want to work anything. They don't want to work anything with you. If anything, they're being petty. They're envious as to how you show up. They very well could be talking behind your back, creating rumors. You're very mature for your age. Yeah. Should you move on? I'm going to say yes. Because because I feel that you want to step into some sort of a sacred energy with somebody, and you can't do that with a person like this. Okay? You can't be with somebody like this when you're trying to be loyal, respectable, compassionate. You can't be with someone like this. Because ultimately they're just playing you for a fool. And this whole idea of them being loyal to you, they weren't really loyal. They just didn't want to take accountability for their shit. And I'm sorry to have to tell you that. But you ultimately do deserve to get justice. And, you know, maybe they'll want to take you on a vacation around the 23rd. I wouldn't go. Because I have a feeling that it's going to end in legal matters. And there's definitely going to be some sort of a divorce. There's going to be definitely a huge blow up, a huge breakup. If anything, you should go on vacation. You should begin a new adventure. Sweet dreams, kitty. You deserve so much better, Reaper. I'm sorry, like, you're dealing with somebody very toxic. Unhealthy, poisonous, delusionous, nasty behaviors. They very well could show up unexpected, spontaneous, showing up, unexpected change. Think, oh, I've changed my tune now. And it's right after you let them go. It's right after you release them, right after you let them go, that's when they're going to show up. Because they're going to feel the disconnection. Okay? Ultimately, you deserve better, and you need to hold yourself with a heck of a lot more regard than they did. Because if they knew that they could not commit to you, they shouldn't have tried to commit and swindle you anyway. Let's see here. Um... 5-card pyramid spread and clarifiers, deep look into your situation. Okay. I still got you a reading here, Reaper, so just the beginning of it, okay? I thank you for your patience, everyone. Jimbo, I did get your request, so you'll be next if you're here. You need to nurture yourself. Nurture your own damn heart, Reaper. Find your self-worth again. And stop settling. Because they're siphoning energy off of you. Okay? I literally went through this with my ex, Reaper. Literally. It was not fun. It was an absolute mind fuck. I'll tell you that right now. It's not just my intuition. It's my own personal experience. Okay? Right off the top, Spirit, what's the deal with Reaper with the 6 stack or 5 stack? 5 stack. 5 stack for Reaper. What's the situation regarding this? Are they moving on? What is the situation? Get me a little deeper into the situation, please, so that way I can give them a little bit more insight. Yeah. Just what I thought. They're lying to you. They want you trapped up. They're lying to you. All of this time, it's going to break your fucking heart that all of this time of you pouring into this person, it was a very bad investment. I'm going to let you know that. They were lying to you pretty well the whole time. They like your energy. They don't like your person. They don't like who you are. Because by you just showing up and breathing, you make them feel inadequate. Because you actually have standards where they don't. Okay? This is ultimately an inside job. This is about you choosing yourself. This person is an actual karmic. They came in as a friend. They wanted to get what they wanted. And they wanted to leave you behind. This is what it was. It was all about them siphoning your energy, siphoning whatever you had to give, and leave you depleted. We got the 2 of Wands reversed. So this is about you. This is a botched connection. This is not a connection at all. This is not a moving forward. This is not a companion. This is not anything. Okay? This is trying to stop you from progressing in your life because they are envious of you. I'm not impressed with this person. You're one to take action. You are one to be inspired. You are one to be a leader. You definitely have a leadership energy about you. Okay? You like taking action. You like doing something with integrity. And they're not all about that. Okay? They spend most of their time wearing a mask. Because of you standing in this leadership kind of energy, in this boss energy, okay? They're out here trying to sabotage that. They're working with other people to sabotage that. Okay? They're trying to take you out of this strong foundation. And it's really kind of giving me a feeling like they're trying to emulate you. They're only around you. They were only around you to learn who you are, learn your mannerisms, learn what you're all about, learn how you stand in integrity and how you stand in with this boss leadership kind of energy. And they tried to emulate it. And a way that you can feel that this is the truth is that every time that you were with this person, you ended up feeling depleted after a time. And you felt in a fog, you felt depleted, you felt like you lost yourself. Okay? Once you started calling your power back, okay, this is where things went to shit. This is where things went south. This is where things stopped in its tracks. This is, once you started pulling your power back because you needed to, it was literally either you pull your energy back and you save your energy for yourself, or they were ultimately going to have you pretty well end it. Okay? And you don't even realize this. You don't even realize this. The thing is that you deserve better. Because of this energy that you hold, okay, and because of where they were trying to get you to spin your wheels, you deserve way better than this, Reaper. Okay? You know you deserve better than this. You lost a lot of your self-respect because of this person. And it's all because they were very deceptive and lied to you. They were envious of the fact that you stood on business, that you had integrity, that you were inspired, that you were intuitive, that you were compassionate. You read them to filth. And all they did is give you deception, and the guilt started to get to them. All right? And yet you still moved forward with compassion. But you tried to hold your energy close to yourself at the same time they were sabotaging you. Which is totally uncalled for. The Knight of Pentacles, they wanted you to stop in your tracks. They did not want you moving forward. There could have even been an accident. I don't know if you had an accident with a vehicle. I don't know if there was some sort of situation that happened with that. But your movement forward pretty well stopped in its tracks. Your whole idea of where you were going, what you were focused on, your purpose, everything just fell apart. And then all of a sudden, I feel things happen really, really quickly. It's to the point where the divine had to guide you through this deception. The divine had to guide you back to yourself and get you to choose yourself. Otherwise, you might have offed yourself. You might have ended it. Because in essence, you lost yourself. You lost the best part of you, of who you are. It was ultimately to keep you trapped in your head. The fact that they did nothing to try to bring closure to this, yeah. It's like you literally lived my life, Reaper. I was laid off the day before my birthday, and I have a feeling that they had something to do with it. So the fact that you lost your job at the same time out of nowhere, it doesn't make sense how you lost your job. And this goes to show they wanted you trapped. They wanted you literally begging them. Because they wanted you so down low because of this energy of you being so high, you so stable, you so strong. They wanted you in devastating energy so that way they felt better about themselves. And it was about diminishing you in order to make you look uneasy, like totally crazy, in order to bring themselves some sort of value. Because they could not even compete with you, with how you stand and where you stand. They can't compete with you. So they had to have you trapped up in your head with deception, from the deception. And at the same time of all this, you're still showing them compassion. It's absolute asinine. Welcome in, Julian. You had to come out of this tower yourself because they weren't helping you at all. They weren't there to help you. They weren't there to support you. But here you are. You're there with your heart open to them. And they were ultimately siphoning off of you the whole time. Once you cut out these third parties, once you cut out this group, because you stopped hanging out with the group, you stopped hanging out with these people altogether. You just kind of stayed to yourself. And that's when things started changing for you. And now you're calling your power back, and everything is coming back in a whirlwind of visuals, visions. Everything is starting to step into place. Yeah, it's ultimately call your power back and cut your losses. And watch what happens. Don't give them the time of day. Stop watching their streams. Ghost them and see what happens. They'll be back. Once you cut off ties, once you cut the cord, they'll be back because they're still siphoning off of you. Yeah, you're devaluing yourself. You're thinking that you're not worth the relationship. The same thing. I went through the same thing. I went through the same thing. Reaper, you are worthy. Okay? You are worthy of someone that is actually going to show up for you. But for now, you should show up for yourself, my friend. You are more than worthy to have someone love you the way that you wish to be loved. But you deserve better, way better than what they can offer you. They can't compete where they don't even compare. They can't even show up for you. But they didn't. You loved having someone else who loved you. They didn't love you. Because anybody that's going to love you isn't going to treat you that way. They were using you. If they actually loved you and if they actually cared about you, they wouldn't have ghosted you and they wouldn't have left you on read. They would have read your message. They would have said, look, we need to have a talk. Is there any chance that we can... They would have been honest with you. If anything, I would ghost them on the 23rd. I wouldn't even go back. I wouldn't waste my fucking time. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try to reschedule with you to get you to hang on and lean on them a little bit more. Because all this so-called space they're taking with other people. And they're leaving you hanging. They want you begging. Don't even bother. don't bother. Get on with your life. Let them feel what it's like to lose you because they didn't give a fuck about walking away from you. I'm just saying that. When you're more than worthy to have somebody in your life that's going to love you and cherish you, you are more than worthy of it. And the fact that they treated you this way is an absolute... Ugh. No. This whole scenario, I'll tell you right now, is a little too close for comfort for me. Okay? Yeah? He just can't compete where he doesn't compare. I wouldn't be surprised if you were with my ex. It wouldn't put it past me. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if you were hanging out with my ex. Not gonna lie. But this is their playbook. This is the playbook. No, he doesn't live in Texas. But they play by the same playbook. And quite frankly, you very well could have been dealing with a covert, malignant narcissist. You could have even been dealing with the psychopath, Reaper. Let them miss you. Let them let you be a faint memory in their past. Because they're not going to find anybody like you again. Yep. You deserve so much better, Reaper. You deserve so much better. And it's a shame for you to have to go through that. It was excruciating for me when I went through it. I lost myself. I lost the best parts of myself, and it's taken me 3 years to get over it, if not longer. To get up and into my empowerment again, to recognize my own worth. And I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't have been able to do it without the divine and without my tribe. My tribe was definitely my checkmate. And so was the divine. Archangel Michael was a huge, huge help. I'm really sorry you had to go through this, Reaper. You deserve so much better. Please find your self-worth. You are so worthy. You are so enough for the right person. And I'm almost in tears with this one. You are so enough. You will always be enough for the right person. You will always be just right. So, Don't ever think for 1 second that you're not worth getting into another relationship, because once you create some boundaries for yourself, once you step into that, you're not going to ever settle for less ever again after going through this. I guarantee it. You are worthy. Don't ever kid yourself. And please be good to yourself, okay, Reaper? Better days are coming. Go onto my page. Go onto my main page where my posts are, and scroll down to the Dermot Kennedy, I think, song, Better Days Are Coming. Better Days. It's down there along the way there. Dermot Kennedy. Look it up. I think it's called Better Days. Go listen to that song. I'm sending you big hugs, Reaper. Stay strong, you got this. Jimmy, are you still here with us? What are you even in here for? Welcome in, Liz. Thank you, Julian. Gertrude, you might want to watch your fucking false teeth. You always know how to make me smile, Maureen. Welcome in, Frey. All right, Jim. I'm going over to that, I'm going over to your thingy. Just give me a second here. Is it in here? Okay, live stream manager. Live stream events. Come on. View. What do you need to know? Regular Celtic cross with clarifiers. My goodness. Okay. Wowzers, Jimmy Boo. Jimbo. Thank you, Hypsee, for helping me out in the chat. I need to clear out that energy. My goodness. Thank you so much for your patience, Jim. That dragon's blood is smelling yummy. I don't know if the chat's restarting on you guys. But this is weird. It was restarting on this end. There we go. What do you need to know? Celtic cross with clarifiers. All right, Jim, are you ready? Are you ready, Freddy? All right. All right, Spirit, we got a regular Celtic cross with clarifiers coming in for Jim. What's going on? What do they need to know right now? What is there for their highest good? We got 10 of Cups in the reverse and the Ace of Wands in the right side up. So you could be dealing with some sort of disharmony at this time. This could be family related. It could be love related. It could be something around that line. But you're in the process of getting a new lease on life, I feel. And there's definitely some sort of new beginning about to start for you. Let's look into it. Yeah, there's a 10 of Pentacles here for you, and you're closing out major cycles. Right off the top, Spirit, please. What's that one all about? Yeah. It's about inner work. It's all about an inside job, Jim, and that's where it starts. That's where this new beginning starts. It's an inside job, finding your inner temple, building your inner temple, building the strength within you, building your self-worth, knowing where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, you need to heal some shit from the past in order to be inspired again. So there's something here about your inner child too as well. Okay, Spirit, right off the top, you're dealing with some major conflict with the Five of Wands in your situation. Your challenge is to stay stable, to stay firm, to stay in this King of Pentacles energy. Okay, while being in this conflict. This could be inner conflict. It could be conflict coming your way. Your heart is filled with emotion. You're definitely having the feels right now. You're walking away from this energy where you're not getting the upper hand. And you're really starting to focus on yourself with the Seven of Cups in the reverse. You're cutting out the distractions. Within the next 3 months, the now energy to the 3 months, this is where you're going to really cut out the distractions. The Hierophant in the reverse is saying that you're done with some sort of commitment. You're seeing it for what it is. I feel that the rose-colored glasses are coming off. You're seeing things for the truth. Yeah, your attitude in relation is that you're cutting your losses regarding some sort of legacy that really didn't turn out to be a legacy. You know, you were educated that there was going to be something substantial that you could roll with and that you could build on and that you could have, and it come up empty with the Ten of Pentacles in your attitude in relation. We have the Death card here out in your influence, and this is the influence to cut the chaff from the wheat. This is about you shedding your skin. Coming up to February 17th, there's definitely something about the ending of the snake year being significant, moving into the horse year. There's some major decisions that you're having to make regarding your life, regarding situations that you've been dealing with. You have the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and I think this is substantial because this is where you're going to find your clarity. You know exactly what you want out of your life, but you just haven't been getting it. It seems like you've been spinning your wheels too much. Your hopes and fears has got the Hanged Man in the reverse, and this is about you stopping what you're doing and really seeing things from a broader perspective. To see what's actually capable, to actually see what you're capable of. Okay? It's very, very substantial. Welcome in, peace, love, child. Love, chill. Welcome in. The Queen of Pentacles here is you nurturing your finances, you nurturing your stability, you nurturing what's meant for you and only you. It's like you calling your energy back, you recognizing your potential, you recognizing your ability to manifest, for you to nurture your stability, nurture your finances, nurture your abundance, stepping into that energy. Like this is pre-Empress, Emperor energy, okay? And with this being said, I do feel that you are making a major transition here, Jim. There's definitely some major transitions happening for you. There's definitely some alchemy. There's definitely you recognizing what's going on. You're pulling the wool off your eyes. You're taking the rose-colored glasses off. You're seeing it for what it is. In your mind, with this conflict, and you ending out these cycles of what other people are judging you for, what everybody else has an opinion of regarding you, you're cutting all of this out. You're not allowing it to be your end-all, say-all of who you're going to become. You're done being pretzeled. You're done tying yourself into knots for other people's pleasure and comfort. And I really feel this is substantial for you because all it's been doing is causing you major conflict. Okay? You're literally, it's at the center of this conflict because people want you to be a certain way, act a certain way, show up a certain way, and they're not really giving you anything in reciprocity for this. And this is where you're really putting your foot down, I feel. Okay? Spirit, what's the clarification for this? What's the clarification for Jim? Right off the top, Spirit. Yeah. The King of Swords. You're standing in the truth. You're standing for justice. You're standing for your truth. And you're not allowing anybody to sway it. You're taking the whole idea of emotions and you're taking it out of the mix. Okay? Let's look into it. So within the next 3 to 6 months, you're definitely going to be cutting out some major commitments that didn't serve you in the end. You're starting to recognize that by focusing on yourself. I'm very proud of you, Jim. You got the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and then you have the King of Swords. So you're literally standing for justice here. Yeah, totally, 100%. With the fact that King of Cups is on the top here, I do see that you are guarding your heart. You're very, very discerning as to who you're sharing your love with, who you're sharing your compassion with, who you're opening up to. And the Four of Cups in your clarification for this is that you're definitely knowing you deserve better than what you've been receiving. 100%. Whoever has this conflict regarding you, okay, whoever's creating this conflict, they ultimately want you to be looking like a failure. But I'll tell you right now, that's not going to happen. It's blowing up in their face. Okay? Your challenge is to stand in your solid foundation, stand in your integrity, stand in your ability to be stable, Okay? You are very stable. Okay? You're very independent. You definitely know how to manifest. And this is a challenge, though, because somebody's trying to get you to not feel this way. Somebody's trying to get you to be out of this energy. Okay? The thing is what they don't understand is you are divinely guided, guarded, and protected, and they don't know who the hell they're messing with, Jim. This is about divine timing. This is about alchemy. This is about really noticing who is for you and who isn't. And know that you're protected. You got angels walking with you. Okay? The Ten of Swords. When you cut this energy out, when you cut these energies out, and when you finally see the truth for what it is, what's going to happen is they're going to be looking at you like you're selfish, right? Because you're standing on business, you're taking the emotions out of it, you're focusing on your abundance, you're focusing on your stability, you're focusing on your foundation, right? And that's why they're challenging this, but they're not recognizing your ability to alchemize this and turn your pain to power. They don't understand that. They can't fathom that. They're not anticipating that. You also could be dealing with the Queen of Pentacles, a Taurus